Yes, it's a feel-good Friday morning. This is Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. The 19th day of September 2025, 32 minutes past 6 a.m. And we are looking to have a great last working day of the week. Well, for those who are Monday to Friday people, people work on Saturdays and Sundays as well, depending on what it is that they do. But for we who do the Monday to Friday, this is the final working day. And I'm so glad to be here with you once again. My name is Ayokunmi, and this is Business Express, brought to you by Into Switch. It's a Friday, so you know it's all about the tech side of life. Tech Friday, that's what we do. And today we'll be looking at the impact of stable coins on the blockchain network. Now, Plasma, a new blockchain built specifically for stable coins, is set to flip the switch on its long-awaited mainnet beta next week, introducing the chain and its native token XPL on 25th of September 2025. Now, according to a blog post from the team, the network will debut with more than $2 billion in stablecoin liquidity from over 100 partners on day one. Now, that is an aggressive attempt to position Plasma not just as another general purpose chain, but as the backbone for stablecoin transfers. Seeing big numbers here, a lot of zeros in that 2 billion. Anyways, joining me this morning to talk about this and take a look and give us some context is Femi Adegolu. He's the founder and CEO of Bchain Africa. Very good morning to you, Femi. Great to have you on the show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Smooth FM. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, everyone listening to me worldwide. My name is Femi Adegolu, co-founder and CEO of Bchain Africa and convener of the On-Chain Festival. And Plasma doing amazing stuff, getting to launch in a few days. Fantastic. And so I think Plasma is a layer one blockchain, very fast and scalable, high performance. And what it's being built for is strictly for stable coins, that is global remittances, cross-border payments, and helping banks to be able to build an infrastructure that would help process, stable coin rails, across different countries, across different borders. And the goal is to make money borderless. That is exactly what Plasma is trying to do here.
Fantastic. All right, before we go any further, for those who are listening in Nigeria, Africa, worldwide, as Femi said, because you can listen to us anywhere that you are. Carry Smooth 98.1 around with you on your favorite radio streaming apps. That is how you can listen to us. Even if you're in the North Pole, you will not miss out. Join us on WhatsApp on 0911-999-0981. Also on YouTube, we're streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. All right, Femi, back to the conversation here. Now, there seems to be so many new players in the stablecoin space. Is there any way they can all be effective? And what would separate one from the other? Because it seems like weeds, stablecoin players are just springing up left, right, and center. What's going on?
Well, you see, money has moved from calories, to becoming, coins, and coins to becoming fiat, paper money, and now you went digital, and now money is now becoming completely, it's going, it's now in a new revolution, right? And now because money is no longer in the hands of the government, it's now in the hands of individuals, and that's why it's much more called decentralized finance, right? And so institutions are coming in now to be able to become major players because now, stable coins are not fully regulated yet, and so crypto also has a very, very, very gray area when it comes to regulation globally, but the US has already done a very huge part in terms of like driving regulation and policies, for crypto. And so for stablecoin players who are coming in, companies who are building stablecoin, blockchains who are building their own stablecoins are going to become much more attractive for, business owners who want to like do cross-border payments a lot. And of course, here in Africa, with the fact that we have a very, very, very a very, very tight knitted border. Because, for example, right, Africa is a very poor continent, right? For example, and we have 54 countries here. And then even in the 54 countries, we're still expected to pay visa fees, cross-border travels are not seamless. And of course, even though you're in Ghana is just 1 hour flight away from Lagos. If you want to send money as a Ghanaian to Nigeria, it is stressful, almost impossible for you to make that payment from Ghana to Nigeria through banks. And so stablecoin simplifies this and makes it very fast, very less fees. Like even plasma is actually gasless, which means you are paying zero fees for that transaction. So which one will
Oh,
you rather
wow.
go for? We rather go for a Western Union or go for MoneyGram, or you go for stablecoins where it can be very similar. So these stablecoin companies are coming in to bring in so much liquidity, because you cannot actually come into play in the stablecoin space without liquidity. So these guys
Mm.
like Plasma and the likes, they're all coming. Even there are a lot of other blockchains built specifically for stablecoins. There's ARC that's owned by USDC, right? There is
Right.
Stable owned by Tether. So these are blockchains built by globally recognized stablecoin companies to enable business owners and other financial institutions benefit from the current wave of the money, which is stablecoins. Because now the banks can actually process stablecoin rails. I'm even going to come to Nigeria later, because I know definitely you're going to ask me about Nigeria, right? Nigeria is also moving to that direction, of course, where stablecoins are becoming the major means of payments for international cross-border payments. And even the banks are already using it, but most people do not know, right?
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
exactly. So if we have more stablecoin rails, if we have more stablecoin players in the space, of course, that means that much more easier, movement of money, much more easier processing of money, and also it's very, very cheaper, it's scalable, and of course, ensure that it is also traceable, because it's going to be recorded on the blockchain that $1 million
Right.
was moved
Right.
from this, country to the other country, or moved from one wallet to the other wallet. And right now, what I think stablecoin players also been in also could be KYC, because now if you move money from one wallet to another wallet, it doesn't show where the wallet is based. Maybe the wallet's owner is in Nigeria and the other wallet is in Kaduna, or sorry, Lagos, and the other wallet owner is in London or Paris, right? So I think there are going to be much more regulated blockchains, that are going to be performing stablecoin transactions in the near future. So meaning that if you own stablecoins of $1,000, right, you as a person, you can actually be recorded on the blockchain, but your identity will be there. So it's called on-chain credentials. That's what it means.
All right.
So
All right.
that exactly would imply that, okay, this person is in Paris, this other person is in Lagos. So this money moved from this wallet to the other wallet through the stablecoin rail.
Mm.
So there's a lot of technology that has been built around this to ensure that money is being moved easily, and better than what we have in the current traditional system.
Right. And records to show this went from here to there, and it's not anonymous
Yeah.
anymore. And that is a very important thing. Now, you mentioned something very important earlier. You talked about some the moving money from Ghana as an example, and using the traditional payment platforms. Now, what if those traditional payment platforms, your Visas, your MasterCards, and other legacy payment players issue their own stable coins on the blockchain networks? What happens then?
The competition better also makes the market becomes much more makes people more innovative, you know.
Okay. Okay.
So if you have just one stablecoin company, what happens is that they are going to, become a monopoly. And what that happens when
Mm,
what
mm,
happens then is that they create their own market policy, and they actually get to manipulate the market, and of course, put a price tag on what they choose. But when you have major players like you have Tita, you have Circle, you have Agora, you have Plasma coming in right now, to also help all these existing stable coins. And these stable coins also have their own blockchains built specifically for them. So it means that there will be much more innovation around how stable coins should be built. And of course, how liquidity should be processed across the stablecoin rails. And of course, it's going to be faster, because if you have an existing one and the next person is coming to launch a blockchain, it means that other blockchain should be also faster than the current one. So it
mm.
means that the developers are going to build stuff, and they are going to be much more innovative, and that will also bring in regulators to understand how well they could regulate the industry that will benefit the investors, service providers, and the final consumers. So it is really good for everyone when there's very good competition.
Okay, now talking about the regulators, I'm actually glad you brought that up. How are the regulators like the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission here in Nigeria, how exactly are they approaching stable coins?
Fantastic. Currently, my friends are building a compliance naira. It's called CNGN. And it is very, very, very interesting to note that Nigeria has moved forward from where we were 4 years ago, in the last dispensation. And the current
Mm.
DG of SEC is a supporter of the crypto space. I could say that anywhere, any day, because he has showed up at a lot of events, talking about his plans for, the virtual asset space and how he plans to help the
Okay.
industry in terms of regulations and policies. And of course, the SEC has already created a sandbox. And in fact, I will gladly announce to you, in case you don't know, if you're listening to me right now, that the compliant Naira, which is CNGN, is far, far better than e-Naira that was built years ago. So this one is built on the
Mm.
blockchain. And of course, when you mint CNGN, you are able to convert to any other stable coin, whether you're converting to USDT or USDC. And it is the off ramp and on ramping is super easy. When I mean off ramp, I mean like you're converting your Naira to USDT, right? Or when you're off ramping, you're converting your USDT back to Naira. But this time around now, we have a Naira that is built on the blockchain and they have a
Okay.
provisional license. So the Nigerian SEC gave them a provisional license that will make them operate, and get the backing from investors. And I think they've currently raised over $3 million as at this moment. So
Wow.
this guy's building a stable coin Naira. I've raised over $3 million, even maybe much more than that. But I'm just giving an estimate based on the last fundraise they did. So, meaning that investors right now can fully back the project, they can invest in stablecoin Naira, and they can also, have, other countries, who are looking, let's say you have Indian rupees and you have stablecoin Indian rupees, right? You can send
Yeah.
money from Nigeria to India. All you just need to do is to have your CNGN and then you swap it, you know, you swap. If you want to swap USDT, you swap. If you want to like send it directly to the person in India, the person in India can also swap CNGN to their Indian rupees, and then the
Just like
person is
that.
okay, just like that. Yeah. So it is
Wow.
stable coin. So it's just like you swapping BTC, Bitcoin to USDT. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing having CNGN to let's say like a stable coin Ghanaian cedi. So if I have stablecoin Naira, you have stablecoin Ghanaian cedi, I send you my stablecoin Naira, and you can actually swap it to the stablecoin Ghanaian cedi in your country. That is how fast it's going to be. But I know they're still building the infrastructure around that. But you see,
Okay.
moving money from one country to another is going to be easy. Like as I mentioned before, we have 54 countries in Africa, right? But there's a problem of finance. There's a problem of travel. You understand? And I think it has to stop. In Europe, for example, there's a Schengen visa that can take you to 27 countries. Am I correct? And
Yes, it
they
is.
all use the same euro. So it is easier
Mm.
to do business in Europe because there's a single currency that everybody uses. And you could easily cross borders because you don't need a visa to cross from Spain to Portugal, from Portugal to Germany, from Germany to France. So since we don't have all that, we don't have all that that freedom in Africa yet. The only thing that we've benefited from so far that technology has given us is stable coins. Because right now I can send
Okay.
money to Tunisia, I can send money to Egypt, and the person can get stable coins and they can off ramp it into their local currency, and it's going to be done
All
in
right.
less than a minute, and that's fantastic.
All right, Femi. Now, because of time, we just need to, should I say, compress a couple of things here. Now, as amazing as all this sounds, of course, it sounds amazing. It sounds like this is the future. But are there any notable risks that users need to be wary of? That is very important.
Of course, you see, for every good thing that is built in the world, there's also bad intentions, right? And
Right.
I'm going to give you a scenario right now. A lot of people have been sent flash Bitcoins before, right? They have been sent flash stable coins before. And you see the money in your wallet, you can't withdraw it because the money is just it's a flash coin. I don't know how the right word to use it, but it's just like a meme, So I think those who are not really very, very familiar with the space might get scammed. And that's why people need a lot of user education, right? Because the more we have amazing technology like this, the more people are going to get smarter in terms of taking that your $1 from you. They will want to come and find a means to drag, to take their own share of the market. So what I will just say to people listening to me right now, if you're listening to me anywhere in the world, make sure you have someone, around you that will put you through. It doesn't take a minute to open a wallet these days. Wallet companies have made it very easy. The UI is very easy to onboard on a wallet. And then, try with some simple transactions of about $1, $5, $10, right? It will be easier for users and investors not to get scammed. And that is the reason why government is bringing up regulations, because of investor protection, because they know that the much more people are getting losses, in terms of their investments, and of course, in terms of the risk of holding stable coins and all that, the worse it's going to be, because that is also going to affect the image of the country as well. So it
Right.
is now going to be left for users to get user education and approach people like us. Send me a DM on LinkedIn if you are interested in learning more about stable coins, and I'll be able to have a one-on-one session with you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Femi. Let me take a message here from Gilbert Musa. He's out there in Festac. He says, on the proposed introduction of stablecoins to the Nigerian markets, first things first, any medium that has no firm regulation in the long run will bring up difficulties to resolve. We should strengthen our traditional payment system before considering any new options. Thank you for that, Gilbert. Do you want to just quickly comment on that, Femi?
Well, our traditional finance systems are already failing, and that's why globally there's something called the CBDC, and of course, globally, blockchain has been able to also show the deficiencies in the current traditional system. So that already means that there's already a problem, and then blockchain has come to solve the problem because of traceability, because of transparency, because of security, and because of scalability. So TradFi is already failing, and of course, liquidity from TradFi is struggling, and the amount of liquidity in the crypto space and stable coins, you can see Plasma is about to launch with $2 billion, right? That's a lot coming into the market. That's a lot of liquidity coming into the market. So it is going to help, businesses, process payments faster and cheaper. And of course, you can even try it. What's his name? What's the name of the guy? You could try send
Gilbert.
Gilbert, try and send $100,000 from Nigeria to the USA. Do it within a day and check how much you're going to be charged if you're doing it traditionally, whether using MoneyGram or using Western Union. I'm not saying anything that is not real. Go and fact check me, and then you'll see how much you're going to pay and how much time you're going to spend. So this is just real life. It is practical, and I think TradFi needs more of the blockchain, and stablecoin is here to stay, and you can't take it away from us. All we just need is just to regulate it properly and have ecosystem players that are building real life solutions, support them, give them the necessary backing and investment they need for them to thrive.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Femi. Man, it's been quite an interesting morning talking to you about all this here on Business Express. I've been speaking with Femi Adegolu. He is the founder and CEO of Bchain Africa. Thank you very, very much, Femi, for joining me this morning. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much. And before I leave, if you are listening to me right now, make sure you go get your tickets for the Unchained Festival. It's coming up next month on the 30th of October. And we have the DJ of SEC. We have a lot of regulators and policymakers coming. So make sure you go get your tickets for that event. Visit bchainafrica.com/Unchained Festival. And we have a lot in stock for you around AI, stablecoins, blockchain, gaming, and social media. Be there and don't miss out. Thank you.
All right. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, Femi. Thank you so much once again. Thank you all for
Thank
being a
you.
part of Business Express this morning, brought to you by InterSwitch. Keep it tuned. The smooth breakfast will